can continue. So basically, Mr. Napoleon Hill is trying to explain and share the benefits that we may get by going an extra mile. But one thing that I really believe, and I think that is true, that life, it is by design. Life is that, well, you have to do something for something to happen. We have to go an extra mile, okay? A lion can't say, well, I'm the king of the jungle, I just sleep and then the meat drop on my lap. That won't happen. It has to go an extra mile to eat, an extra mile to, you know, find a shade to sleep. So everything by design has to do something, you know? That's what it is. We have to labor, you know, for our lives and, you know, the life to continue. But what I want us to really to kind of discuss and have a little chat today on this going extra mile, I have some few slides that I may maybe put on through on the benefits, but we know for sure that the benefits are always there. Now, the key is, you know, how can we, you know, cultivate this or implement whatever strategy that we need to implement really to have this to be a part of ours, okay? This is why I say today I want, you know, us to be really interactive and then see how we can, you know, we can ponder together. For me, I remember very well, and I think Charles will be my witness, when we were, Charles, are you listening? When we were in our secondary school education, you know, I still remember those days. You know, we were absolutely giving it 105%. You understand? We go that extra mile. No one is pushing you, you know. You find the books, you find the past papers, you set your time, you wake up at night 2 in the morning, you know, you just give that extra mile. You do revision. Amazing. And I'm just up to now wishing that if I could do the same in everything I'm doing now, I'll be super successful. We were really, you know, and I believe you have those kind of examples. Now, the thing is, you can go an extra mile due to apprehension, you know, the situation, the condition, the pressure pushes you to go an extra mile. But we want to go an extra mile, not by circumstance. You know, we want to go an extra mile, you know, by plan, that we really want to achieve something big, something major, something for our lives. So we don't want the environment or the situation to put us into the corner for us to say, now I have nowhere to go. I have to do an extra mile. We don't want that. So I want us to come together and say, okay, so what are the challenges that we think, you know, are hindering us from, you know, taking that step to go an extra mile? You know, what's the barrier? What are the things, you know? I remember we had a topic of like self-motivation. That could be one of them, that we lack that motivation. But why do we lack that motivation? It could be we don't like what we do, you know? So if we don't like what we do, then what do we do about this thing we do that we don't like? Maybe change it. So let's come together. I want us to ponder. I want us to put our brains together and kind enrich each other. That, okay, for me, this is how I do to go an extra mile. For me, this is what I did in the past that did help me to go that extra mile. Okay, so I'm going to open up. I'll be coming in and out. So I'm going to open up as for now on this extra mile. So what do we think are the challenges really that stops us from doing that extra mile? So if I have anybody who want to be the first one, yeah, the floor is open. You can come in.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's gonna come in fast because I think it's a very interesting topic. Is it okay?
Welcome, welcome, Red. Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I?
The thing is, yes, please.
If you can just hear the voice, I think that should be good for now. Is that okay?
Yeah, you're okay. We can hear you.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Here's my take on. I think first of all, we all need to realize our potential. We all need to realize that we're bigger than what we think we are. There is a wise man who once said, like, when you look at a seed, you look at a seed and you think, okay, it's just a seed, but the seed has the potential to grow into a tree. You know, so we have that potential to grow into trees, but we need to realize that. But now, coming to the topic, I would say what's holding us back, and linking to what you just said. Hello, can you hear me?
We hear you, Ren. Yes, I hear you. We hear you. We hear
Right.
you.
Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know where I can. Okay, fine. Yeah. What I was saying was regarding what you just said. Like when we were in high school, we became bookworms because we had targets to achieve, and we set ourselves out and we worked hard. But I think like Charles and I had this conversation, I think in the week. What a lot of us lack now is accountability. When we were in school and all that stuff, we were accountable. We were tested by the exams. So we knew the exams would tell if we were working hard or we were playing about. So and hence we put in that effort and worked so hard to achieve these results. Right. Now we leave school. There is nobody else out there to monitor us.
Yeah.
So what do? Because there's nobody there we're accountable to. So we just sit back, relax, and enjoy the day. We take one day at a time. There comes the procrastination. I will do it tomorrow because we don't have accountability. So now coming back to this topic, how do we get to where we want to get to?
Yeah. Yes.
First thing first, we need to have someone who we can be accountable to, somebody we trust, and somebody who will motivate us, because there's a lot of wet blankets out there. There's people out there who will be so quick to shut down your dreams. So anyway, we have to get people who we should be accountable to. And once we get these people who we are accountable to, then we should probably have meetings. I mean, sometimes it could be mentors, or I think good friends who will tell you, you know what, I think you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. And hence, because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, you won't get to where you want to get to. And this should be sort of constant. It could be sort of like, let's have that weekly meeting. Let's have a breakfast every now and again to just discuss where we're going. You know, and with all of that, that could help us become what we want to be.
Right. Yeah. Ren, have you finished?
Yeah, I'm done.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's amazing. I took the points. That's amazing. So realizing the potential, we're going to have a target to achieve, accountability, and then, well, because if we, you know, as you say, during school, you can't procrastinate because you know there is exam at the end of the year. So the day will come, then you have to face it. So I think, yeah, those are good points, really. And yeah, so I see somebody else want to come in, but thank you very much, Rain. Still hang on, be there, and then we, yeah. So, yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Who is that?
Chuku Emeka.
Chuku, yes, Chuku, I hear you. But I only see half of your head, sir. You need to see your full head. Yes.
Can you see me?
Yeah, much better.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, in regards to the question in terms of things that might cost us not going an extra mile.
Yes.
I'll say this because me, I'm equally guilty of this thing. A lot of it has to do with fear. In terms of what if I try this and it doesn't work out for me? What else do I have going on for me? Like, for instance, like me, there's something I've been working on for a while. It hasn't been easy because I had to work to pay bills, and at the same time, also again, I'm also working on a project which I've been learning on with ACA. And part of this, I'm leading this men's group project. It's really been helpful. I've been learning a lot.
Yeah.
But apart from that, my other stuff again, like I mentioned, personal things that in terms of, you know, to try, that has to do with my writing. It hasn't been easy though. Few people have discouraged me in terms of what if this doesn't work out for you. And for a while, I kind of believed it. But another good. Sorry, hello.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you. Carry on.
It hasn't been easy. Just that another friend of mine was saying that you that keep on trying this thing. You never know. Keep doing what you're doing. You never know where it might take you to.
Yeah.
Because recently, like somebody was saying that if you had gone to study IT as a first degree course, maybe you would have gone fine in your life. I really felt bad. I felt my motivation went low because I started questioning that maybe I don't have a purpose or anything in life. But along the lines, I had to like really push harder, and it hasn't been easy though, because the deadline for what I'm trying to do is end of May. I still have more work to do. I'm a bit panicky at the moment, but at the same time, I have to just keep pushing.
Okay. So the fear. Well, this is the thing. Actually, what should I say? Well, I understand that we got people that are around us. The friends and the colleagues, and and some of them. Well, as you see, they may say, well, I don't think you're going to achieve that. Maybe. So, well, that's important and that's good. But the thing is, Chuku, is that personally, I have friends. I'm not going to say I don't. I have friends, and I have learned to group them. I'm sorry to say this, kindly group them. So I have a few that I well, after staying with them, walking together in a journey, you kind know them, they know you, and whatever it is. At times it's okay, but at times may be dangerous to some people. You share them, you share with them something like your dream, whatever your goal you want to achieve, and they can discourage you. It's not because it's not possible, but simply because they don't see what you see. You understand? They don't have a faith that you have. So I don't say that everyone should say, yeah, you can do it, but I tell you, you're going to really be careful in looking into, throwing your dream, because somebody say, I don't think you can do that. I don't think that is possible. I don't see it happening. So yeah, if they say I don't see it happening, say, okay, so what do you think I can do to make it happen? But again, yes, it's important to have friends, but have those one who say, I think, yes, you can do this, and maybe if you do it this way, or people who challenge you, say, okay, you say you want to do this, but have you thought about this? So give you a new question mark to adjust your thing so that you can proceed with your dream. So yeah, that's okay. Anybody else want to pop in, please?
Can I say something?
That's Tombe.
Yes. How you doing, Stephen? How you doing, brother?
I am okay, and nice to see you. Welcome. So tell us.
Yeah, I think part of it comes down to discipline, self-discipline, and consistency. I mean, you might not particularly like the hard work, and it might be drain on you, and it might become very monotonous, and it might be the same thing over and over again. Let me take, for example, I don't know, if you want to get that beach body, and you're slightly overweight, and you start going to the gym. It's very hard at first, but even once you get that beach body, it's being consistent with it, so you don't lose it, and go back to the situation where you were at the start. So you have to maintain it, and that's maintaining it is probably just as hard as the initial push to get that beach body. But it might be arduous. Going to the gym every day. Some days you think, I really don't feel like going, or I feel sore today, or it's raining. You can make hundreds of excuses. But the thing is being disciplined and consistent. And once you have these two things, you'll meet your goal, because even though you don't feel like going, or even though it's raining, you still go to the gym and you get those gains, and you feel better for yourself. So even though, it might be boring and it might be the same thing over and over again, these things are needed. You have to battle through them to reach your goal and to better yourself, and going the extra mile in this case, you get there in the end. So yeah, cheers.
Yeah, good. Yeah, thank you very much. So the initial push, when you open like a Coca-Cola, that bubble goes up. So you're gonna maintain that. It's not like, I'm doing the gym and then after 2 weeks, Charles tried, he said, he confessed, I'm joining the gym and then he ended up paying and he didn't go. But so
I paid for the whole year and went 3 times. 3.
So well, so we got to have the discipline to keep continuing, with the objective, keep going on, keep pushing on. Yeah, can I hear from Momo, please? I see you very, Momo, are you there to share with us something?
Yes, I just really want to thank you. I mean, I will start with the clip because one of the major things I picked up was price tagging yourself. So most of the time we hesitate to price tag ourselves because we don't want to go the extra mile. And when we do that, somebody is going to price tag us. And then we begin to become like a victim, even at workplace. Sometimes there's a hesitance on our part to not do well because we think somebody somewhere will not recognize it. And most of the time, my advice is you're not doing it for somebody, you do it for yourself. Because when you do well, whether they pick it up or not, what about you? Are you satisfied with what you're doing? I think that's exactly what Steve, you said in the beginning, that when you go extra mile, you achieve a lot. And when you mentioned about your own starting in terms of your secondary school, I can go back to a book I read, which was set in a Ghanaian village called Salami and Musa. And it was really between 2 guys. The other guy was born in a village and brought up in a village, but he was so determined and he succeeded in his GCSE and had to go to live in a big city. And there he met a guy who came from a very rich home and he wasn't really committed to anything. But they became friends. So, and this guy was in drugs and everything, but this guy kept his cool, his pace, his discipline, and he went to school, secondary school, university, came to England, became a doctor. And this guy who came from a rich home environment with every encouragement you can imagine, books and everything. And Salami used to struggle even to buy a pencil. That would be difficult. His parents were poor, but he managed. I was just wondering, where did he get the discipline? Where did that drive come from? Was it from within or was it from an external purpose? So he became a doctor, he went back, and this guy who was from this rich home became a drug addict. He was alcoholic, he became unwell, he was admitted, and he went to the very hospital where Dr. Musa became a doctor. And imagine, I mean, this was a guy who was giving him money to take to write his own papers. Now he was a doctor and he has accomplished and everything. So I'm just wondering, I read that book maybe 50 times because I just want to know where if I could meet this guy in Ghana, where did you get your drive? Because sometimes we abandon our drive with him because somebody is not appreciating it. But if I'm appreciating it, I think it's a lot better. In fact, when you mentioned about the quality and the positive mental attitude, for me, it's really not about the quantity, but the quality of what you do is important. And your mental attitude needs to be sound. I don't want it to be wavering at all, like Emeka was talking. I mean, if you're really consistently doing what you want to do, believe me, you will achieve. Those friends will come back to say, oh, we really thought you were not going to do this. Because sometimes they make those statements because they don't know what your goals are, you know. So it's really important. And I think this is really important. I learned a lot from Salami and Musa,
Very, very, very good. Yeah, that's amazing. I like that. You see, we got live principle examples in here, which is really good. Eva, yes. You're welcome. No, you're in the mute. You're in the mute.
I only hope we can carry this in our face-to-face meeting so that we can just put mute on some people. and unmute some people like Grace to talk.
Yeah. Charles, I don't know. Grace, I can't hear. Is she
No,
on mute?
I think Eva, I think you might need sometimes if you log out and log back in again, it might work, because I can see you've unmuted yourself, but it still doesn't work. Try and log out and come back in and see what happens.
Okay, right. So while Eva's doing that, Charles, can you? You can just tell us.
Yeah. I wanted to say something, which is pretty much where James left off. When Napoleon Hill was talking about the what was it again, what was that is it
QQA? Oh.
Yeah, QQMA. I was about to say MM. I started with MM and then I got
the quality
QQ,
and the quantity of the service. Yes.
Yeah. The quality, the quantity, and the mental attitude.
Mental attitude, yes.
Yeah, I think it's really important. It reminded me of the triad of success that I shared with you guys a while back, which is work for yourself, work on yourself, and service to others, which is pretty much what encompasses what success is.
Yeah.
But I think the quantity bit comes in. James has explained really well about the quality and the mental attitude. I think the quantity comes in the shape of that. Sometimes we need to, many times we always look to give back what is due. What do I mean by that? Like if I'm going to work and they're paying me such and such salary, and my job description says that I need to get to work at this time and do 1, 2, 3 and go home at this time, then it's sometimes it's human nature. You just try and do just that. You're trying to do just. It's almost like you're paying back exactly what you've gotten paid for. But I think when you talk about going the extra mile, and what Napoleon Hill was referring to when he was talking about quantity, I think is to have that attitude of wanting to give more than what you're getting in return. It's almost like you should always aim to give more value than the value you're getting in return. And I think that's the sort of attitude that we need to have with everything that we do. Because what I believe personally is that our value is not so much in what we have or what we amends or anything. I think our value is in how much value we give to others. And that's why that's why the triad of success is work for yourself. And that's not to start your own business. Working for yourself is you to hold yourself accountable, to hold yourself to standards beyond what others are holding you. So even when you're working for an employer, working for yourself in that instance will be you holding yourself to a much higher standard to the one that employer is holding you. So it means if the employer is expecting a certain value, you should hold yourself in much higher regard and say, this is the sort of value that I'll give because it's higher. Like what Jesus said in the scriptures, if someone says, go with me 1 mile, go with him 2. You know what I mean? If someone slaps you on one cheek, times the other as well. Because what you're trying to do is you're holding yourself to a much higher standard than the standard that someone else is holding you. The other one is the working on yourself. That is you improving yourself. And we've talked about this. Tom even mentioned about this, about really working on yourself to get the best out of yourself, to really improve yourself, because that's how you go the extra mile. If you just keep doing what everybody else is doing and you don't work on yourself, then you can't expect your results to be exceptional or extraordinary. It's amazing how many times you hear people saying that, I've not gotten a promotion at my work because I've worked here for so long. Some people have come after me and they've gotten promoted. That begs the question. Yes, you might have had the time, but what have you been putting in that time? That's the question you need to ask yourself. Were you going the extra mile? Were others looking at you and saying, this guy is more valuable to us than others? Are you standing from the crowd? And to wrap up my contribution, I want to share with you a quote by Walt Disney, which I think it's one of the best quotes ever. And I use it so much to galvanize myself to do more, to go the extra mile. It goes like this. It says, whatever you do it well. Do it so well when people see you do, they will want to come back and see you do it again. And when they will and they will want to bring others and show them how well you do what you do. Let me read it again. Whatever you do, do it well. Do it so well when people see you do, they will want to come back and see you do it again. And they will want to bring others and show them how well you do what you do. And that is about going the extra mile. You're doing something, so it's not just about doing something because people expect you to do it, but you're doing it. It's almost like you're putting your own print to it. Like this, this is me. I'm taking pride in my own work. This is what I do. This is how I do it. And I do it. It's almost like what James was saying. You're doing it for your own pride. It doesn't matter what others people say, but you're doing it and you're doing it so well. And when you do it that way, when you have that kind of attitude, I think it makes a huge difference and others will take notice. And I think it will pay dividends. Thank you, Steve.
Amazing. Yeah. That's good. That's good. See, Eva is back. Let's check you. If you see, check.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh,
now we hear.
fantastic. I don't know what was going on, but hey, yeah, I mean, I like, just as James, I learn a lot. My kids are in the background making noise, so don't worry about that.
No, it's all right. It's a part of it, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, so I mean, all your points are very valid. I like them. So personally, I find, yes, we all have discipline or self-discipline, but I think sometimes you can't find at a point you're losing that self-discipline or you're not focused, you're not doing things consistently. So for instance, we're just having a discussion with one of my friends and I was just saying, actually, sports people, they have coaches. Like Serena Williams. And when they win the big cups, they don't lose their coaches, but their coaches keep them on track and discipline. I mean, as much as she could have said, oh, I've won my tennis, now I know everything. Let me do it by myself. No, but they still keep the coach. And I think this keeps a lot of athletes in check because one day you can, today I don't feel like training, but your coach will be like, you need to go and train. So I found even in myself, in my life, I was like, okay, I have a lot of motivation and everything, but I think in the last few years, I've realized that I'm not being as consistent as I need to do or to be. And actually what I have done personally, I've actually gotten a coach. So just to help me get back that focus, because it's that thing that you feel you have so much potential, but this potential is not coming out, which can be really frustrating.
Yes.
And I think, and I think we all, and I think as much as we want to be motivated sometimes and just do it, we pick up things we don't finish. Like in April, I said I'm going to pick 100 miles walk because I wanted to have the group mentality that I'm going to finish. By the end of April, I only did 50 miles. And I was like, okay, I can either cheat and say that I finished, or actually, so I went back to my coach and I said, actually, you know what, didn't quite finish my miles. And he's like, okay, you actually need to find out how much you've done, and then you actually need to do it because then you get the fulfillment of you finish something. So it's sometimes like maybe when we fail a bit, we feel like that also piles on our success, or maybe we just say, oh no, it doesn't matter, but it does matter because you have so many unfinished things which then don't get you anywhere. So I think also with how we need to get the extra mile, I like what Napoleon Hill was saying. I think it was number 14, definiteness of purpose also. Like having definite your purpose, like that's what James was saying. When you're definite about your purpose, then it doesn't matter what anybody is telling you, because you need to get where you need to go. It does, even if you tell me, oh, if I don't think you can do 100 miles. Well, yeah, okay. It's fine, because I know that's my goal. So it doesn't really matter what anybody says. Yeah. So yes, that's how I am dealing with my lack of following through and my lack of not going the extra mile, which I am trying to fix in my life. Yeah. So, yeah. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, amazing. You see, I like this interaction. You see, Eva is saying, well, 100, but he did 50. She did 50. So where's the 50 gone, Eva? So you're going to go and check and see what caused the problem, and then you're going to try to fix it. That's good, It's a good thing, accountability. So I said I'm going to do 10. I did 4. So what went wrong? Charles, no. Jim, so you have messed up somewhere. So it's good, it's good that, you kind of reflect and come back. So that's lovely. I like this because, see, we got self-check, and we have live examples from ourselves. Somebody was raising the hand.
Yeah, me, Chuku.
Chuku again. Okay.
Yeah,
Ren is there.
yeah.
Welcome, Ren.
Okay, you know what?
Yes.
So hello. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Well, I say yes. You can come in. Yeah, come in.
Okay.
We'll listen.
All right.
Yes.
We can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hearing the other hearing the other ladies hearing the other ladies talk. It reminds me of one of my writings. What I wrote down. I'm going to quote something I wrote in one of my writings. The bravery to walk through the fire created by our own personal illusion defines the type of feeling embedded within against its heat wave. So did you hear what I said?
Can you repeat, please, Emeka?
The bravery. Sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The bravery to walk through the fire created by our own personal illusion defines the type of feeling embedded within against its heat wave. So, you heard what? Did you hear what you people hear what I said?
Yes, sir. We did.
So basically, what from that writing I wrote down, it reflects on how we're able to. It all reflects on being positive to face our deepest fears and insecurities in order to accomplish what we really want to do. That quote means in terms of if you want to do like walk like 100 miles, or it's all about being determined no matter what, and pushing and going the extra mile, like what we are saying now. That's what that writing reflects on that I wrote down.
Right. Yeah. Thank you, Chuku, for that. Sister June, you've been really focusing, listening very intently. So we want to hear from you. You see, the time you went an extra mile, and how did you do the extra mile? And the time you failed to go an extra mile, and how did that pain really, give you trouble? So we want to hear from you, please. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I agree with them, with people, with what they're sharing. And for me, I think like the push to go an extra mile comes from the passion and the purpose for which you are doing that, whatever you want to achieve. And maybe if you've listened many of my talks, I always talk more about purpose.
Yes.
And I think if you okay, you know your purpose and you're passionate about getting it, then that propels you to, to go an extra mile. I think sometimes like things which have kind of discouraged me, like I've not taken an extra mile, it's because probably I was doing it for the wrong motive. It was not something I was passionate about, maybe because everyone around me is doing it and I think I will look awkward if I don't do it. But do you know, when you do something you're not passionate about, it actually drains you. It sucks energy out of you, and then you're not getting the reward, because like say if people are saying, oh, we are going for gym, and you're thinking, oh, my friends will be meeting at the gym every now and then and I will not be seeing them, so you pay 6 months or 1 year, and then I start to become so miserable when it's time to go, because first and foremost, I think I'm losing money for something I'm really not even passionate about. I know maybe I have my other ways of controlling my weight and therefore it's just that little thing, but it can also go into big other issues in life. So for me, I say even that the desire to take that extra mile has to come from the foundation, which is the purpose and the passion and the motive for which I want to get involved. If you are not passionate about that something, you will really struggle, and therefore we will sometimes fail, and therefore sometimes I always question myself, why am I getting involved into this something? Because if I don't establish the motive, then there won't be any push for me to take that extra mile. Every success requires extra mile, and it comes with a cost, and it's painful. But the difference is when you know why you are doing that and you are passionate about it, that pain is a pain of gain. And then it can actually propels you, and you say, I will go through this because I know this is what I want to achieve. But if you're not passionate about it, that pain will be a pain of draining. And before you realize, they've collected your money for gym for the whole year, and they are rejoicing. You are so miserable because maybe 300 pounds has left you, and you are thinking, I could have done something, nice about it. So for me, I want to go right down to the basic. What is the purpose, and am I passionate about to actually pay that extra leg which I want to take? That's what I would say.
Amazing. I like this thing, it's nice, it's good, it's good. So you don't just join the crowd because every child is going, want to join in. You're going to do the numbers, see, are you really determined to do that gym thing? Are you really intent? Because otherwise, yes, you're going to join the gym thing and ain't going to be a story. Well, I know the gym, but we don't see no muscles coming out. Anyway, that's nice. Mama Grace, you have been really listening. Now we want to see your extra mile, So if you can unmute yourself and then share with us, please.
Well, yeah, you've all said a lot, and I agree with all of you, all the previous speakers, Eva, James, Charles, and you. And me, it's the reward. The reward motivates me to do the extra. The reward, and it could be positive and negative. If I don't do it, I'll be regretting, and that is negative, isn't it? You had the opportunity and you didn't use it, and that will be playing on your mind. But if you take the advantage and go for it and do the extra mile, the feel good factor, you feel good, and you want to do it every, when the opportunity arises. Yeah, so the reward motivates me. If you don't do it, you tend to regret, And as Charles James said, do it for yourself, and do it as if you're doing it for God and not human being. Do it for God. What will Christ do? Those of us who are believers, what will Christ do in that circumstances? That motivates me as well. Yes.
Fantastic. It's really nice. It's really amazing. Now, I did have, because I didn't listen to the video myself, so maybe for you might be, it's something that you listened in the past. But I did listen to the video and I just grab a few points. I'm going to share just a few. Well, I have a lot, but I'm not enjoying sharing a lot. I want people to talk because I've really gained some good points from people's conversation, and that's really nice. But I'm gonna just put some few slides quickly. I'm gonna spend just a few minutes before we come back and we can continue. So Charles, if I don't know if you, how do we do? I want to share some slides.
Carry on. You have the capability, I think.
And so I got these slides from kind of a summary. I was trying to summarize what Napoleon Hill was saying, and yeah. Can we all see? Yes. Can we all see the slides?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we can see it.
Right. So I'm just going to go quickly in summary, and we can maybe pone down the points that Napoleon Hill was saying. So these are not my points; these are his points. So he said that going an extra mile is a state of mind. That is something that we need to really develop, right? It may be a part of your habit that you have it, but well, it may not be. So it's something that we really need to kind of work on. Okay, and it's something that we really have to work on to make it a part of our philosophy, you know, that a part of your philosophy, that I really want to be somebody that goes an extra mile in everything that I do. Not only because of pressure or something, no, it's because I want to do, you know, and it's a part of my goal, part of my life, and part of my philosophy. And it says that, okay, another point that he was saying is there is a benefit, you know, because you see, going an extra mile, which will mean that you're doing more than what you're getting paid if it's work. Okay, so he's saying that we're going an extra mile is something which is hard. It's not uneasy, but it's something that can reward and will reward you. Okay, so we got to make it a part of our mental philosophy, or you know, a part of our mind, a part of our thinking. Okay, he say it's not easy, it's hard, but it pays. Okay, then he says in part of reward that you're going to get, there is a law of increasing returns. So he said the quantity and the quality of the service that you offer or you know you give will come back to you multiplied. And that is very true. You know, if you do something with the wrong attitude, you're starting, you know, swearing to everybody, you're starting show, you're gonna get, somebody will punch you eventually somehow. But if you're doing nicely, you're smiling, you're happy, and everybody is happy, then chances are, okay, you're gonna reap the same. Now he's giving an example which is very, very nice. The Creator's giving us a seed, you know. He said, take the seed, put it in the ground, and that's all you got to do. Then how many seeds or how many fruits will come out of the seed? Leave that unto me. So the thing I need to do, the extra mile that you have to do, is to get up in the morning, dig the land, put the seed in the ground, and then wait. So the miracle of harvest will follow. But number one, you're going to go and put the seed in the ground. That's all you got to do. Okay? So he says this goes with another law, the law of compensation. See? So say this law ensures that, you know, whatever we put, you know, we get the reward of it. If we sleep too much, of course, we get whatever is going to be associated with sleeping too much. If we eat too much McDonald's and burgers, of course, you're going to get the same results that we get. So it's really kind of, you know, what you put is what you get, okay? So it's important that to know that these things are correlated. You know, whatever you're getting at times is not by accident. It's a seed that went on the ground at some point, maybe consciously or unconsciously, you know, but there is a compensation. And he's saying that at times, and this is a major problem, that we want to put a seed today and they want to harvest it tomorrow. Major problem. Somebody put today and then they want it tomorrow, but it won't work like that. You put a seed down, you put water on it, you look after it, you be patient, you wait, and in the end, we will reap the results. And then say another benefit of going an extra mile in the marketplace, there's a potential of you and me gaining a favorable attention, okay? People will see that, oh, Eva is going an extra mile. Eva is different from other. They will see. It's not going to hide, you know? So it's something that you really need to know that at some point it will be, you know, visible. It will be seen, you know? And the people will see, because that could be the only thing that distinguishes you from the crowd, you know? You're standing out of the crowd. Another point, he's saying that, you know, the benefit of going an extra mile is, right here. What am I having here now? Yeah, it's being, well, indispensable, okay? So this may, you know, give you that edge, you know, whenever they look, they see, they say, wow, you know, amongst 10 people that we have, the 10 employees that we have, you know, there is somebody who does a little extra. So If it's time to, you know, chuck somebody off the boat, you know, the ship is sinking, we need a little bit lightweight. We need to see who we're checking off. So if you are diligent, you're doing an extra mile, possibly you might be the one who's going to remain in the boat when it's time to reduce an extra weight, you know. So, you know, this is true, because at times people say, oh, you know, because of the kalau, because of that, because of this, they chuck me out. But the fact of the matter is, it could be, you know, you didn't really make yourself, you know, really solid, you know, indispensable, so to speak. So when things are rough, well, they're going to check who they're going to take out first. So that's one benefit. Okay. Another thing, say, well, there's room for self-improvement when you go an extra mile, which means that you need to do something extra, you know. Even say he said 100 miles or something, 100 steps, he did 50. So he's going to go back and say, well, I didn't get 100. What went wrong? There's something that needs improvement. Maybe you need to rearrange your scheduling, or maybe whatever it is, the discipline or something. So there is always a self-improvement in this, because there's some work that is being involved in carrying the task, especially the mindset, you know, the positive mental attitude and all these things, you know, need some work. So all this will do something in you, and then you're going to have the self-improvement. Next is the window of opportunity. Okay, when you make yourself indispensable, well, you remain, then opportunities will happen because you're still there. If we check you out, opportunity come, you know there. But when you're going an extra mile, there are some chances that if there is any opportunity for promotion, for example, you can, well, be somebody that they might or will consider for that. Okay, so that's another benefit that we can reap. Okay, and for now, I think let me stop there. And let's come back and continue. So I had a little bit few more points, but I don't want to go into, we can listen into video and we can just gather those by yourself. So anybody else who have anything else to add at the moment as we continue?
Yeah,
Ren?
I want to jump in.
Yes,
yeah,
Ren.
if that's okay.
Yeah,
I want to jump in. I think you've given us a lot of slides, but I just want to say a couple of things. I think first of all, we need to realize that, okay, okay, mindset, right? It's not, changing one's mindset is not an easy thing to do.
Correct.
We have to unlearn so much stuff that we have unlearned, and then learn new things. And then once we learn these new things, this will enable us to go that extra mile, to become someone who's different. So we need to take note of that, because we are human beings, we are creatures of habits. So for us to become who we want to be, we have to change who we are right now. So there is that. And also there's a thing about, I think Eva is getting the stick for not doing the 100 miles or whatever. But I think I do salute for doing it.
Be honest to share. So Eva, sorry if I'm penalizing you. Sorry.
Hear me out. Yeah. Hear me out. I think what we need to do is we need to realize that we fail our way into success. So if I did 50, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, there's a guy who said sometimes we set, what discourages us is we set our targets too high, and then we hit them low, and then we get discouraged. But I think whilst we're trying to build the mindset to be different people, what we need to figure out is, because we're attempting things, we need to realize that as we attempt these things, we're going to fail. Yeah. And once we are failing, the failures are the ones that should encourage us, because the people who don't fail don't do anything. If let's say, I'm going to go back to Eva because it's become the topic now, but if she hadn't attempted that one step, right, then she wouldn't have been sitting here and telling us, you know what, I'd set myself 100, but I didn't achieve that. So I think you can't sit back and say, you know what, I only did 50. No, you didn't. What you did was good. You didn't hit the target, but it was good enough to get to the target. So with those small steps, those small victories, that sort of
Yeah.
builds us up, and that helps us to become like, once you get those small victories and you celebrate those small victories, the small losses, of course, you have to sit down and you know, a little bit catch yourself, but don't dwell in it and move forward. That in the long run will help to get to that sort of mindset, to create the mindset of who you want to be. I think I'm repeating myself now, so yeah, so I'll stop there.
Right. That's very good. Thank you very much, Rainer. For me, I think I will possibly go back.
Yeah, let me, Steve, let me just add a little bit to what you have said from a very cultural perspective.
Yes.
For us human beings, we're here because we came to this world through people. And that is what being indispensable started.
Yeah.
Our parents' names, whatever gene, they try by all means to repeat it in us. So we are here because of them. And we're also going to do the same thing. So when you're talking about being indispensable, or you don't want to be disposable, because we talk about disposability a lot these days, about biograding and all those things, and it's a painful topic, isn't it? When they talk about you want to degrade me or to dispose me and all of those things. So it's so terrible a name. But what we are talking about here, and what Steve was talking about, particularly the aspect of you being indispensable, not that it's going to continue forever. But if in your workplace you have done your level best, believe me, the model, the example you set will go a long way even after you have long gone. So we're not saying that human being is going to continue forever, but that spirit you have created, that kind of mentality you created, the way you handled your job, the way you did it, beyond every reasonable doubt, you were disciplined, focused. That will go a long way. The same thing with kindness, so that when you extend kindness to people, it's the same thing, because you go an extra mile. Otherwise, you can only focus on your family. But the fact that you go beyond your family and help other people who don't even belong to you, that's the extra mile. And when I come to Eva, I mean, she's done so well. And there's an American psychologist that said that anything that is worth doing well, it is also worth doing badly. So when we do something bad, let's don't think that we have failed. And that's why your thinking comes into play. So for us Africans, not all of us, but most of us, we have this helplessness that everything is my destiny. And you're not destined to stop at stop A. You can go to stop B, you know, but that's the destiny we need to move. I think that's what Steve is talking about. Move the goalpost, put it somewhere else. If I'm destined to stop at standard 5, I can go beyond standard 5 and start my own business.
Yes.
You know, without having a university degree. You know, so we tend to really be very narrow and limit our chances by not going the extra mile. And that's exactly what Stephen was talking about. All those gratification, we need to delay them. You know, remember, I went for visa 5 times before I came to this country. That's me. But I went again and again and again and again. Yeah. And the council almost knew me, because they would say, James, you back. I say, I'm back. And I will go to England by all means. So it was a joke for him, but eventually I got the visa to go to this country. So maybe some of you didn't struggle, but for some of us who had to struggle, we went the extra mile. So really it's important to chat about this thing, to share experiences.
Wow, thank you. So that's another point, persistence. Yeah, so, but I think this is it's not a bulk of one really thing. It's a combination of small little things, as Rain started in the beginning. Thank you. I really loved it. You know, when you're in school, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you're gonna sit down on that exam, and then the paper will tell. It's not gonna lie that Rain will be going in this place for 5 years or whatever years now. Results. So you know, it's a combination really. The accountability, you know, having the people that you're accountable for. You know, as we say, you've got mentors. You know, the friends you can trust. You know, and then the persistence, you know, the diligence, the discipline that you need to put, having a purpose, a consistency and all this. So it's a combination of a lot of ingredients that really need to come together, to make this thing. So, so for me, I think, it's something that you really need, or I really need, or you really need, or we really need to sit down and say, well, I want to create new me, that in everything I do, I want to go an extra mile, right? So I'm setting up a goal. This is all I want to do. I want to go an extra mile. If it's a group work, everyone will possibly do just enough. So for me, I will do the extra, because see, the extra is what makes you an extraordinary. That's what it is. Otherwise, if you do standard, you're going to be just a standard. So it's many things and a lot of points to take. But well, I'm happy that people are sharing, their experiences, really like practical experience, which is really good. And so before we close, we've got a few minutes. Anybody else who want to just the last final bit before we close?
Yeah, Stephen, can I share a little bit? I think I don't recall who was speaking, but that also reminded me that taking an extra mile comes with a cost, not only to you, like physically, but it comes with a cost where, you might lose friends. You might, because taking an extra mile sometimes can make you look awkward, and people can be saying things, also, doing things which can be very, very hurtful. But as I go back to that point where why you are doing it, the purpose for which you are doing it, and the passion which you have is, should kind of continue to keep you there. Because I think at times we might have the passion, we might know why we are going it, but at times the hurt, the pain, the isolation which we might get by taking that extra can overweigh even the desire of how much we want that thing, and it can weigh us down. But I say, let us even take an extra mile, in that extra mile to kind of at least uphold the purpose and that thing, because it surely comes with a cost, whether it's at work, where even if family, friends, and things like that.
Yes. Well, very true, very true. And I think that might be the biggest cost, really, to pay you may say, well, I think it's not worth it. You put the whole thing down.
May I add something there, please?
Yeah, Charles, okay.
Charles.
Yeah, I can hear an echo on myself. I don't know whether you guys can hear me okay.
We hear you okay, and I give you a minute and a half. So
I'll take 40 seconds.
Sorry, Charles, we can see two Charleses. I don't know which one were.
Yeah. This is what,
The one with the video on is me. The other one is also me, but it's not working as it should. So that's why I transferred to this one. Right, now basically, I'm just picking up from what June was saying. I think that is such a powerful thing. And I think we see it a lot, especially in places of work, where sometimes people are afraid to give their best or go the extra mile in their work because they feel that they're going to be isolated and alienated from their friends. There is that feeling when there is one employee that seems to be doing over and beyond the requirement. It makes everybody else look bad. You know what I mean? And he becomes almost like the pantomime villain. Because everybody looks at you and think like, oh, you're trying to score points with the manager, or you're trying to score points with the team leader or the director or whatever it is. And sometimes we don't quite underscore how powerful that desire to belong can be. Sometimes we end up giving less and just want to do the bare minimum, because in a way we want to feel like we're part of the group. If I do something more, then I might look like someone who is trying to show off all this, that, and the other. But unfortunately, that eventually ends up affecting our performance generally, and it kind of spills over to every other area of our life. And I think it's important sometimes to just realize that and take that into account, in that will affect our performance, and therefore try and what's the word, almost like override that feeling and always give your best regardless, because that's the way we develop. That's the way we kind of push ourselves outside our comfort zone. I'm done.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you,
Okay,
June. Thank you, Charles, as well.
Can I
Ren,
have 42 seconds, Steve?
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Just to add to that, I think I just want to summarize it. I think what we should do when we want to become the extra or go the extra mile, we should look at ourselves and think, we should look and think as, what's the price that I'm going to pay for me to achieve that?
Mm-hmm.
And then reconsider, is it worth it? I mean, most of the time it's worth it. And I don't think we should be scared of growth, because growth is something really good, something really special. Because when you begin to try and achieve that extra mile, the people that are not in your life, the job that's not meant for you will go away. The people that are not meant for you will drop off. It's just like a tree during seasons. When it comes to winter and all the leaves come out, so all the people that are not meant for you will come out, and the people that are meant for you, because the higher you go, and trust me, I have experienced this. The moment you start going the extra mile and you're working on yourself, then of course you'll drop a few people, and then you will be giving less conversations to less people. Then you attract other people who are bringing meaningful to your life. So in a way, there's a guy who said, show me 5 fools and I'll show you the 6th one, or show me 5 millionaires and I'll show you the 6th one. So the moment when you start accelerating, what you're attracting, this is another thing. You become who you attract. So you start attracting different kinds of people who will be in your circle. You will even attract, if it's jobs, you'll attract jobs that are where you are. I mean, there's one time, I think a few months, sometime last year, before COVID, we came when we were done at the school, and we had this. I think it was Bob Proctor was saying something along the lines, we need to look at where we are now and connect the dots, because the dots where we are now is dots that have connected us. And where we want to go, we need to look at those dots and connect the dots to get there. So once we're paying the price, we're going to lose a few friends, we're going to lose a few jobs, blah, 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 but we shall get better because we're becoming better. So if we want to get better, if we want to get better things, then we have to become better. Someone once said, you have to take your standards up and things will change. I mean, it's just too much information in my head right now. So I think I'll stop there for now. 42 seconds.
Well, I see right now you're going an extra mile now. You're overriding your.
I said 42 seconds.
That's going extra mile now. You're overriding your time, but okay, that's fine. No worries.
Yeah, we want to hear it. Allow him to bring it out. Bring it out.
Yeah. That's amazing. Well, I really enjoyed the conversation today.
Yeah.
So I think we're coming to the end of our chat today. So thank you very much for doing an extra mile to be in a meeting, because that's an extra mile. I know we got things to do. Like even there could be a simple good excuse. I go, kids screaming at the back, I can't join the meeting, but she didn't. So thank you very much for that extra thing, because you see, honestly, no one is gonna come to teach us on these things. No one. We finished school, we finished. They taught us what they taught us. They didn't say these things. So we need to teach ourselves. So you read a book, you share. I read a book, we share. And I think that's the aim of this platform. So no one lecturing the other, but we come and share ideas and experiences, and how to do ABC so that we can go that extra mile and achieve the objective and success that we really want. So saying that, I say thank you very much. Charles, if you got any final word you want to say, and
powerful meeting. Thank you so much, Stephen. I kind of feel like we can have another session on this and into how how we can really galvanize ourselves to go the extra mile and overcome those barriers. Because I think we were coming to that point as we're coming to the end.
Yeah,
But we'll always organize that and see how we can do that. But thank you so much, Steve. Thank you, everybody, for your contributions. This has been absolutely amazing. There are lots of points I've jotted down. There is a lot I'll take into my own personal development and really try and get something out of these 90 minutes that we've spent here. And I'm sure it's been value to you guys as well. Let us all be great ambassadors of these great messages, not that the one we have today, but even the other sessions that we've had before, to really bring these conversations into our communities and challenge one another to really do better in whatever thing that we do, whether that be employment, family, relationships, business, whatever it is, and try to galvanize and encourage ourselves to look at an alternative way. Because I think the problem sometimes we don't ask ourselves the difficult questions, and sometimes it is through meetings like these that you start asking yourself questions that could I have done this better? Charles said that, Stephen said that, could that be the solution to the problem I've been having? That kind of thing. So it's really important that we keep challenging each other and take this conversation forward. Having said that, it's been a great day. Hope you have a great weekend, and God bless.